Hello, hello, hello. My name is Jack Taylor, and you have reached Imagine Easter Part 12. Wow. Imagine if you could see what God was doing with full confidence. There was an elderly man named Simeon who was given that privilege. Luke 2 tells us that he was a righteous and devout man, waiting for the consolation of Israel, and that the Holy Spirit was on him in such a way that he knew he would not die before he had seen the Lord's Messiah. When Jesus is 40 days old, Joseph and Mary walked the 8 kilometers from Bethlehem to the temple to present their firstborn son to the Lord in obedience to God's command. The command in Leviticus that every firstborn male would be consecrated to the Lord. Now they've already had him circumcised when he was 8 days old, and his name has been confirmed as Yeshua, Jesus. Being impoverished, the parents offer 2 living birds whose necks are wrung by the priest, and that's before they offer them up to God in sacrifice. This consecration is to confirm God's commission that the firstborns were to serve him. So Simeon is moved by the Spirit of God to go into the temple courts. Can you imagine how many babies he has seen in his lifetime? How many trips to this temple? How many dedications of little ones? How many sunrises and sunsets waiting for God to fulfill a single promise? And yet, today, he knows. How often do we give up because one too many sunrises and one too many sunsets have come and gone? How often do we choose numbness or anger or impatience or addiction or work or poor self care or defensiveness, despair, disbelief, all because we just can't wait? We can't be still and know that He is God. We struggle through the fatigue, the unhappiness, the regret, the guilt, the shame, the diminished performance, the poor concentration, just thinking that we're forgotten. We're alone in the middle of our grief and our loss. Simeon stays alert to the Spirit, and so he responds with a song and a word that will bring joy and sorrow both. The song is a prayer of thanks to God. He says, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, so you may now dismiss your servant in peace. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all nations, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people Israel. What vision! What foresight! A light of revelation to the Gentiles? This babe is for all nations? This is sunshine after a rainstorm. This is a dance after the dirge. This is a rainbow of life and hope. Why talk about Easter when everything is coming up roses? What blessing brings a double-edged sword into the soul of a first-time mother? Why? Why ruin something so good? No, Simeon has to add the blessing. The child is destined to cause the falling and rising of many in Israel, to be a sign that will be spoken against, so that the thoughts of many hearts will be revealed. And a sword will pierce your own soul too. The thoughts of many continue to be revealed. And this little one will continue to be spoken against until the very religious rulers who roam the holiest of sanctuaries will give vent to the rage hidden inside their shriveled souls. Why does this salvation include a piercing of the one who is just trying to do the will of God? Well, an 84-year-old widow stops by, a woman who never leaves the temple. She's been worshiping night and day, fasting and praying. She too knows what God is up to, and she thanks God for this child who will bring about the redemption. Who are these holy ones who feed on the heart of God, who revel in the whispers of that heart, who savor the thoughts and plans of his mind? They are shadows among the spotlights in our society, watching, waiting, wondering, wrestling, worshiping, knowing when he is ready to act. We will all long for the coming of the promise. We just don't want to marinate our souls in the waiting. You know, Easter is coming closer now. We've heard the words from these seniors. My eyes have seen your salvation. This child, the redemption. The falling and rising of many is set. Will we fall, or will we rise when the redemption is set? Join me again tomorrow when we consider one more figure on the journey toward Easter. God bless you.